Channel 2 was the only outlet on the scene in Buckhead Monday night when Atlanta police arrested rapper Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams. Exclusive footage captured the tense moment as officers confronted him one morning. "You're going 100 miles an hour down Metro," while Thug pleaded, "Can I please just get a warning?" The clip quickly spread online, reigniting public debate around his ongoing legal troubles. Following the release of his latest album, the Atlanta court system reportedly introduced new evidence suggesting a potential violation of his probation terms, evidence allegedly tied to the album's content and performance. According to reports, DJ Academics claimed the project underperformed commercially, moving only 48,000 units in its first week. He argued that Thug's constant tweeting, mostly attempts to deny snitching allegations, backfired, stripping away the air of mystery that once fueled his fanbase. Industry watchers noted this as one of the first significant declines in Young Thug's career momentum, marking a stark contrast to his previous dominance in the rap scene. The backlash hit like a tidal wave, critics calling Young Thug's latest rollout a complete disaster, a collapse of the image he once so carefully curated. For years, Thug's mystique was his armor, but now, fans say they've discovered his weakness, questioning his street credibility. Since whispers of snitching began circulating, he's been visibly shaken, reacting in ways that seem uncharacteristic of his usually composed demeanor. The accusations flipped the script, painting him as both defensive and erratic. Just before his album dropped, Thug reignited tensions by promoting rival rapper YFN Lucci's project, a move that backfired spectacularly. Soon after, Georgia prosecutors filed a motion to revoke his probation, citing new violations, fueling rumors that the state was tightening its grip. Then came the bombshell, leaked recordings of Thug's private jail calls. The internet exploded, not just over the content but over the violation itself. Social media lit up with outrage as industry voices, including Benzino, slammed the system for what they called a constitutional breach, accusing officials of leaking the tapes intentionally to manipulate public opinion. "You can tell it's from the government." One viral post read, "No watermark, no media tag, straight from the source." DJ Academics, known for his sharp industry analysis, weighed in with his take on the YSL drama. He argued that Thug and his crew, millionaires who beat the odds, fell into the trap of trying too hard to prove their street authenticity. "They made it out, but they couldn't let go of the streets," he said, pointing out how the obsession with image led to self-destruction. Even insiders like Woody mocked the performative toughness, calling it outdated and self-defeating. Academics summed it up bluntly, "This is the first time I've seen gangsters who need therapy." As if to prove him right, Thug's behavior grew more defiant. When snitching audio surfaced, recordings allegedly involving a police officer linked to Ghana's plea deal, Thug lashed out publicly. On Instagram, he called out prosecutor Marissa Vivero by name, labeling her the biggest liar in the DA's office and reposting memes reading, "All my homies hate Vivero." It was a bold, reckless move that blurred the line between frustration and self-sabotage. In the eyes of many, Young Thug's downfall wasn't just about legal missteps or poor sales. It was about a man trapped between two worlds, unable to shed the persona that built him, even as it slowly tore everything else apart. What happened next pushed the Young Thug saga into even murkier territory. The rapper's decision to publicly call out Marissa Vivero, a government prosecutor, while still on probation proved disastrous. Federal officials viewed his post not as simple venting, but as potential intimidation. "Are you signaling your followers to target her?" Prosecutors allegedly questioned. That accusation became the backbone of their motion to revoke his probation. The reason Thug lashed out, insiders said, was because Vivero was scheduled to testify in the ongoing OMF case, where she claimed that factions tied to OMF and 4 picofarads, Lil Baby's camp, were locked in a violent feud that could soon result in more indictments. But things took an even stranger turn when an old interrogation video resurfaced, one showing Thug seemingly implicating his associate, Pee Wee Roscoe, in the 2015 shooting of Lil Wayne's tour bus. In the footage, Thug appeared hesitant at first, then ultimately suggested Roscoe was responsible. The clip reignited questions about Thug's credibility and loyalty, sparking heated debate across social media. Roscoe, however, shocked everyone when he publicly defended Thug, refusing to label him a snitch. In a fiery Instagram live, he said, "Jeff clean as soap, man. That's my brother. What he did was what any real man would do. He tried to pull me out the hole." He insisted Thug's comments were misrepresented, claiming the rapper was actually trying to help, not accuse. "He ain't tell. He stood tall," Roscoe maintained, calling out the media for selective storytelling and reminding fans how both men were once praised for their loyalty while incarcerated together. Still, the narrative didn't sit right with everyone. Many fans believed the defense was staged, especially after Thug tweeted, "They didn't play my interrogation video in court 'cause I helped my brother." Skeptics accused him of paying Roscoe to clean up his image, pointing out the conveniently timed statements and rehearsed tone. And while Roscoe tried to defuse the tension, YSL Woody wasn't having it. He jumped online to expose what he called Roscoe's hypocrisy, hinting that he had his own secrets to hide. "Don't forget what you said out your own mouth, Pee-wee," Woody warned. "You know I ain't got no screws in my head. I'll tell it all." The drama surrounding young Thug only deepened when YSL Woody reignited old memories, recalling a tense moment at the Sky House. "Boy, you remember that day, you and Thug sitting in the car? That dude walked by, and Thug tapped you like, 'Pee-wee, what's up with that?' You told him. How you stuck your lean up in it? Don't get me started." That cryptic remark took on new meaning after the interrogation footage leaked, quickly spreading across social media and catching the attention of none other than 6ix9ine. Never one to miss a chance for controversy, the rapper mocked Thug's 2-hour police interview, saying, "Yo, where's all that energy now? I've been watching, I'll make excuses. Every time someone you like gets talking, y'all move the goalpost. Bro, it's simple, he talked before noon. You can't do that." His sarcasm was biting as he called out hip-hop's double standards, taunting big names like Lil Baby, 21 Savage, and Future for staying silent. But not everyone shared Roscoe's loyalty or 6ix9ine's laughter. Many in the rap community, especially within YSL, turned on Roscoe for defending Thug. The backlash prompted YSL Mondo to step forward, bluntly declaring that what Thug did was snitching. No sugarcoating it. "Ain't no excuses," Mondo said in frustration. "You beat a whole RICO, come home, and instead of staying humble, you out here talking about rats. That's karma biting back, bro. You supposed to thank God you free, not double down on fake narratives." His words hit hard, painting a picture of a man who escaped a life sentence but couldn't escape his own pride. What began as leaked footage had now spiraled into a public morality debate: loyalty versus self-preservation, street code versus survival, and Thug was right at the center of it. YSL Mondo didn't hold back as he called out what he saw as deep hypocrisy and manipulation within young Thug's circle. He accused Thug of brainwashing fans, saying that despite clear evidence of Thug naming names during his interrogation, people were still defending him with excuses like, "AI edited it," or "he didn't really rat." Mondo's frustration was palpable. If you sit down with the feds and start naming people, that's snitching. Y'all can't call Ghana a rat for saying, "Yes, ma'am," and then pretend Thug didn't do the same thing when Roscoe spent 10 years behind bars because of what he said. He condemned the blind loyalty surrounding Thug, describing it as sickening and comparing fans to lost followers searching for a father figure. "Roscoe, you the worst kind," he added. "You did 10 years for a man who said your name out loud, and now you're online pretending he didn't." Soon after, YSL Woody reappeared, warning fellow rappers to keep their distance from Thug. "Don't side with him," Woody cautioned. "He'll drag you down with him. I tried to tell y'all about Ghana, but nobody listened. Y'all think these dudes are street, but they're not who they pretend to be." He urged artists like Lil Baby and 21 Savage to stay focused on their own success. "Baby, you watching this? Keep your money up and stay clear. One thing about a man with nothing to lose, he'll take everybody with him." The next day, 21 Savage seemed to take the message seriously and quietly unfollowed Thug on Instagram. DJ Academics later revealed why Woody's tone had shifted so drastically. He no longer trusted Thug. Woody claimed Thug never helped him with legal fees despite his loyalty, and that he had been manipulated into defending him. "There's no way I should have been in that interrogation room without a lawyer," Woody said regretfully. "That man got all that money. He should have made sure his people were good. But I was blind, defending someone who wouldn't do the same for me." He admitted he ignored his instincts early on and still doesn't respect much of what Thug stands for today. And Woody wasn't the only one disillusioned. Rapper Rillo also spoke out, accusing Young Thug of sabotaging his career. Rillo claimed he had even lied to federal agents to protect Thug, yet Thug turned around and called him a snitch, going as far as to tell Lil Baby to cut ties with him. "I lied to the feds for you," Rillo tweeted bitterly, "and you still tried to bury me." What had once been a united brotherhood was now unraveling in public, exposing a cycle of loyalty, betrayal, and manipulation that stretched far beyond the music. Young Thug's treatment of fellow rappers once again came under scrutiny after a wave of resurfaced tweets and leaked recordings reignited the debate around loyalty and hypocrisy in hip-hop. A resurfaced post from Thug, "If you're a rapper and you rat, you just go gospel," was met with sharp backlash when Rillo fired back, mocking, "Now you'll have to go through what me and Ghana went through. We're waiting on that gospel album." The jab hit hard because it exposed what many insiders had whispered for years. Thug's immense influence in the rap game allowed him to blacklist anyone he turned against. When Ghana accepted his plea deal, Thug allegedly sent messages to several top rappers, including Lil Durk and Lil Baby, urging them to cut ties, branding Ghana a snitch, and effectively isolating him in the industry. DJ Academics later confirmed those claims, saying multiple artists privately admitted Thug told them to stay away from Ghana. "He shut that man out completely," Academics explained. "Everybody stopped talking to Ghana once Thug said the word." But the situation grew more complicated when Thug responded publicly to Rillo's accusations, defending himself by saying his actions were misunderstood. "The difference between me and you," he wrote, "is your people said you lied. You told on folks. I made a mistake. I said we sold Wayne stuff to prove we weren't beefing. You told Fani you'd take the stand on me and Lucci just to get out." The feud escalated when yet another interrogation clip of Young Thug leaked online, shaking the internet once more. In the video, Thug can be heard promising investigators, "Whatever you want to know, I'll tell you, but don't tell the world." He even offered to exchange phone numbers, pleading, "Just keep promises." What was meant to be a sealed conversation was somehow released to the public, triggering a frenzy of speculation about who leaked it and why. DJ Academics quickly suggested that Ghana might be the one behind the leak, claiming, "Ghana's been sitting on these jail recordings for a minute. He dropped them at the perfect time to prove Rillo's point and flip the narrative." He went on to theorize that Ghana's legal team might have gained access to the files through their position in the case, bypassing the need for freedom of information request. "It's smart," Academics admitted. "If you're a defendant, the court has to hand over certain materials. And Ghana might be using that to expose what really happened behind closed doors." The new revelations painted a complex picture, a man once seen as the embodiment of loyalty now caught in a web of secrecy, mistrust, and betrayal, where every leaked clip threatened to unravel what little integrity the YSL empire still had left. DJ Academics voiced what many fans were wondering. If Young Thug's calls were leaking left and right, where were Ghana's? The absence of Ghana's recordings raised questions, especially since both rappers had reportedly monitored each other's jail communications. In fact, one leaked clip even caught Thug mentioning that his lawyers had been reviewing Ghana's calls, one of which featured Ghana reassuring a woman, saying, "I love you. I'm coming home soon." Thug allegedly interpreted that as evidence Ghana's early release came through cooperation with authorities. If that's true, Academics said bluntly, then the streets are cooked. Soon after those comments, more explosive audio surfaced, this time suggesting that Young Thug tried to sabotage the bond between himself and Lil Baby. The leak reportedly captured Thug on the phone criticizing Quality Control CEO Pierre P. Thomas, calling him a rat and accusing Lil Baby of still working with him. In a heated moment, Thug said, "You can't be preaching about real ones and still rock with a rat. I don't care what he gave you. He's a rat." He went on to rant about materialism, fake lifestyles, and social media illusions, accusing unnamed rappers of showing off rented houses, unpaid mortgages, and a life that wasn't theirs. The tirade even veered personal, with Thug mocking one artist for losing a house he couldn't finish paying for and for wearing outfits that had the whole world thinking I went soft. His jealousy, pain, and pride all bled through the audio. He say he got more hits than me or Kendrick. Man, stop it, Thug fumed. I drive past her house, and it's for sale. As the audio spread, a three-way call between DJ Academics, 6ix9ine, and Wack 100 added even more fire to the discussion. Rallo, who is also on the line, claimed Thug's behavior had fractured relationships with several people, including Lil Baby. The judge already judged him, Rallo said. Now the streets need to do the same. You can't hide behind that mask forever. The truth always comes out. Wack 100 and 6ix9ine echoed that sentiment, arguing that the cycle of betrayal had come full circle, that Thug, once the enforcer of loyalty, was now facing the same accusations he used to hurl at others. Whether it was karma or consequence, the entire ordeal painted a grim picture of what happens when street codes collide with courtroom realities and when private promises turn into public ammunition. Wack 100 dropped a bombshell when he claimed that young Thug might have been cooperating with authorities long before the current YSL case ever surfaced. According to Wack, several of Thug's old charges had mysteriously disappeared over the years, including an alleged incident in Los Angeles where Thug was reportedly caught with multiple firearms near the same hotel where Yo Gotti's crew had a violent altercation. Where did those cases go? Wack asked, implying Thug might have quietly cut deals long before anyone was calling Ghana a snitch. Fans were left confused, though. If Ghana really betrayed young Thug, why was he still signed to YSL? Many assumed Thug would have dropped him instantly, but DJ Academics offered a more pragmatic explanation: money. Even from behind bars, Thug reportedly keeps Ghana on the roster because the label profits from his success. You don't drop the snitch, Academics said. You make money off him. Behind the scenes, insiders suggested that Ghana's contract could quietly be transferred to another label under the 300/Atlantic umbrella, ensuring YSL still earned royalties from his music. In the industry, morality often bows to business. As the tension escalated, Young Thug released a defiant track titled Closing Arguments, where he addressed the snitching accusations head-on, calling out Ghana and Yak directly. Can't compare no one to me, he rapped. There's real rats around this place. I did what I did. Tried my best to help my brother, no regrets. The song was meant to reclaim his reputation, but it backfired when Wack 100 promised to release even more damning material, allegedly 2 more hours of leaked audio where Thug could be heard gossiping about other rappers, including Drake. We already sent Drake the first 28 minutes, Wack said, warning that it's far from over. Just as the dust began to settle, YSL co-founder Mondo reignited the fire. Furious at Thug's lyrical attempt to defend himself, Mondo accused him of being the true reason the entire YSL RICO investigation began. Let's keep it real, Mondo said in a viral clip. You were the first one to talk to police, before Nut got hit, before anybody else said a word. You started this, buddy. You're the reason the RICO started. His words cut deep, turning what was once a brotherhood into an all-out battlefield of betrayal, with the lines between loyalty and self-preservation more blurred than ever. A shocking leaked audio of Young Thug reignited the ongoing debate around the YSL RICO case. In the clip, Thug claimed that the entire reason prosecutors were able to turn the case into a full-fledged RICO was because of Ghana's plea deal. According to Thug, Ghana's statement acknowledging YSL as a gang, rather than a music label, gave jurors the foundation they needed to treat it as organized crime. He said YSL is a gang, and he knows people in this case who committed crimes to further that gang, Thug said in frustration. That's the whole definition of RICO right there. Thug went on to argue that Ghana's testimony was full of contradictions, insisting that none of the men he personally knew from the case, including Duke, had ever committed crimes. So, who are you talking about? Thug asked. You just made this a RICO case yourself. But that wasn't the only revelation making headlines. Fans began speculating that Thug may have also shared information about Lil Durk's circle. Notably, Durk was arrested just a week before Thug was released, sparking rumors that Thug might have played a role behind the scenes. In one leaked phone call from jail, Thug appeared to express disappointment with Durk, accusing him of acting different and not clearing a song they had recorded together. He sent a song for the album, Thug said, but when it came time to clear it, he didn't do it. Now, he's online talking slick about me. Durk's affiliate, known as F-Twin, fired back in defense of Durk, mocking Thug for gossiping on recorded jail calls. "That boy on the phone talking like a straight girl," F-Twin said. "I'll never trust a dude who puts on makeup and dresses." In response, Thug allegedly claimed he had even sent his attorney, Brian Steele, to assist Durk with his legal troubles, a claim that divided fans even further. Meanwhile, Thug's sister came to his defense online, saying people were only labeling her brother a snitch because they knew he couldn't return to Atlanta. "They all clicked up because they know he can't come back here," she said. "Stop acting like y'all loyal to him now when you've been switching sides." Another leaked phone call between Young Thug and 21 Savage offered a rare moment of self-reflection. Thug admitted he didn't like how quickly everyone turned on Ghana after his plea. "I ain't never said nothing bad about you on the internet," Thug told 21. "I ain't with all that unfollowing and fake beef. Yeah, I'm disappointed, but I ain't going online for clout. People just reacting too fast." It was one of the few times Thug seemed to acknowledge the complexity of loyalty in an industry where silence, money, and betrayal often blur into one another. When the dust started to settle, things only got louder. Wham confirmed that he had spoken directly with Young Thug, saying their brief conversation ended with a tense, "Stay lit," before the line went dead. Not long after, Charleston White entered the scene and poured gasoline on the fire. Known for his provocative takes, Charleston didn't hold back, claiming he'd predicted this exact downfall years ago. "I told y'all, Young Thug was gonna tell," he said in a viral video. "Keep him locked up 6 more months, he'll break. I'm the new prophet." He mocked Thug's lengthy police interview, saying it proved everything he'd warned fans about. "Y'all mad at Ghana, but Ghana ain't even got an interrogation tape. Thug do. Hip-hop been fake," he added. But Charleston wasn't done. He doubled down, declaring war on Thug's reputation. "Atlanta, I know y'all love him, but I'm finna destroy Young Thug. He'll never rap again," he said, calling out others in the YSL circle by name. "Lil Baby, stop hanging with Thug. Ghana, stay quiet. Let me handle this. Ain't nobody can beat me." His rant went viral, further dividing fans and fueling online debates. Meanwhile, DJ Academics weighed in, calling the entire saga a circus of hypocrisy. He pointed out how the rap community's moral compass seemed to shift depending on who they liked more. "If it's somebody we like, suddenly it's not snitching," he explained. "The first rule when deciding if someone's a snitch is, do we like them? If yes, then it's all excuses. He ain't tell on nobody, ain't nobody locked up, or my favorite, he just spun the cops." Academics compared the current chaos to what happened when Ghana took his plea deal, reminding everyone that despite the controversy, fans still streamed his music. In his words, "The truth is, regular people don't care about snitching. Civilians like me just enjoy the music. I'm not out here choosing sides. I listen to King Von, I listen to Ghana. I don't have to live that life to appreciate the art." He laughed at how rappers were having a snitch-off, fighting to prove street credibility, while the public just watched for entertainment. "It's wild," he said. "They're out here crashing out to prove something, and most of us are just scrolling and laughing. The streets are in a crisis, but the audience? We're just eating popcorn,